Starting off at the team level, those of you not familiar with SAFe might relate the team level activities to those found in Scrum or XP or those sorts of, I guess, more traditional sort of level events or activities, where you have a product owner managing a product backlog, the requirements, the stories that the team that is going to be working on. The Agile team then implements those requirements. So in SAFe, the product owner role is distinct, from other sort of definitions of the term that you might hear elsewhere, where it can be much more senior and much more authoritative. In SAFe, the product owner role is defined as very much a team-facing activity. So most of the focus of the product owner is to manage a product backlog, typically for a single team, and then to make sure that that team understands the requirements and make sure that the team are working in the right order. Perhaps ordering the product backlog, so the backlog just for that single team in SAFe, to implement the sort of plans over the course of a planning cycle. Product owners, of course, then have to work with the next level up at the program level, product managers who manage an entire Agile release train's worth of product owners and work at the next level up. So the product manager is typically more of a customer-facing role. Depending on the sort of setup that you've got, the product manager might work with individual customers if it's a kind of a business-to-business relationship, working directly in an account management sort of style relationship, or perhaps trying to understand the market, understand the commercial incentives and the sort of customer-based decisions and activities, or perhaps working more with internal customers. And in SAFe, there is a role defined called business owners. Business owners participate in certain program level events, such as the big planning cycles, the program increments planning cycles. They have a role to play in that. And the product manager's role is to make sure that the right thing is in the program backlog, which is comprised of larger scale items, such as features and technical enablers. And then the role of the product manager is to work with the individual product owners to make sure that there is alignment and to collaborate effectively in order that the product owners know what they have to implement with their own individual teams. And in many cases, that is the essential sort of level of SAFe that people work with. At a very basic level, SAFe is all about scaling up individual Agile teams. And so often the first step is just from going from that sort of situation of having single product owners managing one or two or three teams to having a product manager in place who's coordinating across, in SAFe, this structure called an Agile Release Train, this virtual team of teams, which is essentially the sort of basic level of planning in SAFe. This is the program, the product manager's focus, to manage the program backlog, and I guess to coordinate between the needs of the customers and the business and make sure that the product owners, which are more team-facing, understands what they need to do. Very much an optional layer in SAFe is the layer above that, where there are more than around about 12 teams, or perhaps 125 people to manage in a single Agile release train. And the operation is so big that it needs to go a level above that, a further level of scaling. And this is called the solution level. And at the solution level, the pattern is almost identical. You have a solution manager who works on a solution backlog, still has the same sort of need to have a relationship with customers and business owners, but a solution manager manages a solution backlog, and again, liaises with individual product managers, who in turn liaise with individual product owners, in order that very large scale things can be done. So a solution manager is essentially managing a solution backlog that might eventually feed into tens or even hundreds of teams working through individual product managers and further into individual product owners. But the pattern is very much the same. The solution manager works with a number of product managers, manages their solution backlog, and makes sure that there is alignment with the overall objectives. And then finally, at the very top level, now this is, again, is an optional level that doesn't have to have a solution level in the middle. The portfolio level is typically concerned with high level sort of planning and sort of organizational level objectives. And this is where the pattern is slightly different. Rather than having some sort of portfolio manager, there are epics, which are essentially major projects, major initiatives. So think of an epic less like a big story, as you might in other sort of agile frameworks, and more like a major initiative that needs to be approved and budgets need to be assigned to it and funded in an effective way. So at the portfolio level, you have epic owners who own individual epics on the portfolio backlog. It's not a single role, it's a multiple role. There are usually multiple epic owners. And again, these would then work with product managers and solution managers in order that the right thing is done in that sort of way.